Hey, Kenny.
What's up, Chris?
Will the three guys that are injured play tonight?
They they shot around this morning. They'll test it with Steve and performance group pregame.
And then over the last 24, 48 hours, do you use the term must-win game? Do you view this as a must-win game?
I don't use that term. The term I'm using is lean into our identity, who we are, who we've been all year. Just that's the key to the rest of the series.
Joe?
If Darius obviously has missed 4 in a row, and you've used Sam and then you used Ty. Darius can't go tonight. Where do you think you go there?
To be determined. There's a couple options we could do. Like what Sam gives us, of course, and Ty's struggles shooting the ball, but we trust what he's done all year. You have to be careful, say no, 2 games. All of a sudden he's out. So we're just gonna keep trusting our group.
All the way to the end. Danny?
Kenny, in the last 4 games that Darius hasn't played, what do you think that you guys have missed the most about him on the floor?
Well, you always miss an all-star, he's our point guard, and speed, obviously shooting. We have not shot the ball well. He helps with that. He obviously can create an advantage quite easy on his own. So, Dan, you know him. It's all over the place. And leadership, he's a smart player. He, kind of him and Don know what we want to call. They converse, they talk. So a lot of things. So it's gonna be great when we get him back.
In the first 2 games of the series, you guys are shooting 25% in open and wide open threes. How much do you attribute that to just bad luck at the wrong time?
I never know the answer to that one. I know all the expected stuff, but it's the playoffs. It's like, in the regular season, well, it'll regress to the mean. Unfortunately, in the playoffs, we have a short window. So you would hope it comes back to how we've shot it all year, but there's no guarantee. And that works both sides. That their side too, right? That's why part of the reason we got to keep trusting what we're doing. We like our process. We like how we've approached it. I'd say outside that first quarter, the first game, that was I don't think we were kind of ready. Or focus should be the word. Focus like we needed to, and felt like we caught our rhythm after that.
Spence?
What are the kinds of things from the first 45, 46 minutes of game 2 that you think you guys can carry into Indiana tonight?
Well, let's say the first 3 quarters, because they I know everybody talks about the last 2 minutes. That's the the recency bias. It was really the last quarter. And they played great, and we didn't. We missed shots, probably 6, 7 shots, a couple layups, and they played great. They made the plays. So I will take from the first 3 quarters our force, our energy, our focus. That's who we've been all year. So fourth quarter, obviously they kind of reversed that, and they took the took that from us.
Chris?
Kenny, over the last couple of days, what have you sensed within the group that lets you know that you've moved past what happened at the end of game 2?
We've been through. When you go through an 82 game season and you bounce back, you have your trials and tribulations, and you have your good streaks and bad streaks. So I trust our leadership. I trust the team. Trust who we've been all year. Just going to double down on that. I think that's how the players feel. Double down on us. and then we live with, you know, the kind of results.
If Evan, Darius, and DeAndre are all able to play, will they be under a minute restriction?
That's gonna be a feel. If that happens, I gotta feel it. You know, I think, you know, Darius is a little bit the tough one. You know, I think about almost 2 weeks. So that's you know, if he ends up playing, it's just gonna be a lot of communication with all three of those guys. You know, I'd love, they're gonna be slotted for their normal minutes, but we're gonna have communication with them, communication with our performance staff, and then we'll it's gonna be a little bit of a feel, Chris.
Thank you.
Mr. Mike. Nate.
Hey Kenny,
What's up, Nate?
Hey, how's Donovan doing physically, and what have you kind of learned about him as he's been pushing through this? Because, you know, every experience with him is new for him.
Yeah, I mean, especially us shorthanded, I think he's put us on put us on his back a little bit, a lot, you know, and I love how he's attacking downhill, getting to the free throw line. You know, he's not making his three right now, but he's kind of doing it in every other area. So doesn't surprise me. He's done it all year. He knows the moment. He knows what he has to do, and you know, my conversations with him, like, just keep finding that balance where you know, you don't wear yourself out, where you're getting your teammates involved. We need you to, you know, obviously with those other guys out, we need you to be super aggressive. Just keep trusting, you know, and he has, you know, after rewatching the games, I've been really impressed. I thought maybe during the game was a little over, you know, where he needed to be, but he's in a pretty good spot, finding that balance between attacking and getting his teammates involved.
And then I want to follow up on something you said yesterday about Darius. You know, you said you've been jogging on the treadmill, but he hadn't been able to run. Is he?
So alter G, that's not a treadmill, is it? I don't.
Anti-gravity treadmill.
Anti-gravity, so you don't get to pounding. So yeah, that helps with your conditioning when you can, you know, or you don't want to pound.
But like today, has he been able to try to run well?
Yeah, he shot around today. You know, he did movement shooting, just wasn't catch and shoot, so he moved around, you know, dribble, pull-ups. You know, I think kind of the way we do it, there are tests they gotta pass, you know, like any injury situation where they, you know, really look into it pregame and do the testing, and then, you know, I'll get the word here soon whether they're, all three of them are, you know, if they're a go or not.
Joe G.
Getting, you guys averaged 47 points in the paint during the season. You're averaging 63 through the first two games of this series, and that's without Darius. Is that something you think you can kind of exploit moving forward?
Yeah, I think part of that is them, you know, they you know, they push out on a 3-point shot, so we gotta give what, you know, take what the defense gives us, kind of thing. So they're pushing out on our drives, you know, trying to stay at home. So you know, we've had to kind of read that, and I think we've done a real good job. Again, attacking the rim, attacking the paint. You're going to take away the 3 ball. It's going to leave some things up. It's going to leave the paint open. They have obviously got a great rim protector, Miles, but he's not in all the time. But we can, especially if Evan plays, we can drag him out a little and get to. I think we can get to the rim even more.
And what did you like about what Dean gave you in game 2?
Yeah, you know, Dean, he's the ultimate role player. Defense, rebound. I loved his activity on the offensive boards. Thought that was huge for us, getting us extra possessions. We're good. Yeah, we're going to need him tonight again to be, you know, play the same role.
Sabrina.
Can you think of kind of the vocal leaders behind the scenes with your team this week, and how have they just, you know, helped this group over the past couple of days?
It's our, you know, it's our, you know, the leadership groups, Serena, it's those top guys. You know, Max is a big part of that. He's obviously got, you know, big time playoff experience. Donovan, you know, Darius and Evan, like they're out, but you know, they chime in on the film sessions. And Tristan, he's always great. I mean, he always sees stuff, you know, sees stuff that maybe the coaches don't see of the players, and then he's got a great feel. He's been in a lot of playoff battles, so we lean on his experience. I talk to him a lot on the side, so we get pretty confident in our leadership group. They've been great all year. Been great, you know, in this series.
You mentioned Darius, just curious over the past week or so, how he has been able to, like you just said, he's been able to contribute in those film sessions. I mean, he's been a leader of this team this year.
Yeah, and on the bench too, and I asked him, I said, Darius, we need you on the bench. Because I know when he's out there, you know, you coach and point guard, you have to have that relationship, and we talk constantly. I probably talk to him more than I talk to Donovan during the game. So when he's out, he's sitting right by the coaches, as you can see, and hey, they're hedging the pick and roll, or hey, he's in a drop, can you dribble the ball wider, or whatever it is. It's just little things he sees that other people don't see, and he'll talk to Ty about it. You know, obviously talks to me about it. Even in the team huddles, he'll give always give some tips. Really smart player.
Anything else in the room? Okay, let's go.
All right, thanks so much.